Mykonos, and y'all kind of missed most of the fun. First time in Europe, flew into Barcelona, then I flew from Barcelona to Portugal. From Portugal, we got a flight to Ibiza. We're in Ibiza for a week. To be honest, it was kind of underwhelming. I think I just did it the wrong way. We stayed at a hotel, we stayed at an Airbnb, got to see Calvin Harris. I'm gonna put some, you guys will see some like cool little videos, like recap. Then we took a private jet to Mykonos, landed the other day. We've been in this villa for a few days. We've got some four-wheelers. You guys will be able to see some of the videos of the recap of what I did, but like everything starts now. Drew is here, my client Bennett, pulled up. We're having an absolute blast, and we're gonna go take the four-wheelers, get some breakfast with the girls, come back, and me and Bennett got a crazy work session that we're gonna get after, and I'm going to show you guys what it's like to work, travel to Europe, and have a blast while you build your online business. Let's go.
I know, but the problem is I don't have any fucking time, so I gotta exit.
I know.
Get the fucking exit.
But like you're sitting here talking like I'm trying to like, bro, I'm trying to.
I know, bro. I want to.
You should be the truth, brother.
I know,
like,
bro. I went from doing 50K on the side on
well, that's because
organic.
you ran Max's funnel, bro.
No, bro. Max didn't do anything.
That's the point. You know why? Because you know what he's doing all day?
I'm arguing with him right now.
You know what he's doing all day?
What? Jerking off
Content, guys. Let's. When you're scaling it, he's just posting all these fucking stupid videos.
He doesn't do what he says he does. I'll be honest about that.
That's the whole industry. That's why I get so angry about that shit. That's why you see me on my stories talking shit about it. It's not because I'm an asshole. It's just because I'm like, bro, I see what these people do and I don't like it.
No, his biggest offer is Alex Eubanks. He has like $250,000 a month.
Yeah, and I talked to Eubank the other day, and Eubank was kind of just like, Eubank's gonna make, bro, Eubank could say like, hey, I'm Eubank, here's my ass cheeks, do you want to pay me? And somebody would pay him. That's just like, he's built that brand that he has. He just wanted somebody to just kind of like, man, like click the buttons and shit so he didn't have to. Out and said all this and immediately been like, you are the guy, I've watched everyone else's content, nobody knows the things that you know, we can immediately go into breaking the inconsistency. But the first false belief here is that he has not in his mind gone, Bennett is the guy for me, here's why. So we take him through that. The very next thing that we do is we go, okay, now that he said I'm the guy, what's next in the process? I gotta fully understand what he wants to do. He's basically already told me what he wants to do, and I see the fact you're stepping away from running, you wanna get leaner, but the real reason is you wanna travel and enjoy your life while staying disciplined. Well, wouldn't you say that the calisthenics and the running and the more athlete-based approach of training is the thing that's allowed you to travel and still have that balance, and without it, you'd have to be much more strict on your macros?
100%.
So that's the thing that we look at next is, he's got the wrong approach and that's what he needs me for. He's quitting running, but he doesn't understand that that is actually the key. He thinks that's the problem. No, it's actually the key.
Yeah.
Right? So I would just go here and I'd be like, that's great, bro. Like, I'm glad you've been impacted by my content. Like, this is really, what I've been trying to do. And the reason why I ask these questions is I just want to make sure that you, are fully confident that I'm the guy for you, because I see your situation and I know like that's exactly where I was, or I've dealt with similar problems, or my clients have dealt with similar problems, but I wanted to make sure that you were fully aware of this. The thing I'm curious about though is you say you're stepping away from running, and then you also said you really like how I balance my travel and my lifestyle. But to be honest, every time I've gotten, you know, when I built my most strength, gotten my leanest, and been able to, you know, like enjoy life at the same time, it's been because I've had a lot of those athletic components incorporated in my training. So what makes you think that cutting out running is going to allow you to reach those goals of getting stronger and leaner at the same time? Say that, then he tells you, and then you go, yeah, but here's the problem. And then you explain the fact that if he's just bodybuilding training, not running, what's gonna happen is he's gonna have to track his macros. He's gonna have to be very, very dialed on what he does. He can't miss a day in the gym. He can't do these. His calories have to be extremely specific. And so then he realized that, and he's like, well, fuck. And he's gonna tell you the problem. The problem is I just feel like every time I run, like I'm like losing muscle, and he's watched somebody else's program that's made him feel like that. So now that he said that you're the guy, and you've actually figured out what he truly wants, you're gonna start to see these inconsistencies. He's saying that you're the dude that he wants to be like, but he's not following the thing that you do.
Yeah.
He's probably taking some advice from somebody else. It's like, oh, if you're running, you're gonna like lose muscle, or like you can't balance it as well. So then you show him, well, that's actually what we do in Ultimate Athlete in my one-on-one, because people don't understand that your training has to be very, very specific around this. You need to know, like you can't just go and just run 5 miles every single day. You need to know when to recover, when to train. You need to know, you know, if I haven't ran in 2 days, then yeah, you don't have to track your macros, but you need to be way more, less on the carbs and a little bit higher on the fat. And that's not something that you have to train, but we need to create a system to where you start to understand like what you should order and what you should eat. Otherwise, the second you travel, you're going to just lose your physique. That's why I've been able to keep this and other people haven't been able to. If that happened just immediately in the beginning, then he starts to be like, okay, well, like, and he starts to use other opinions and maybe other people. But now we've created this environment where you're the guy, your system is the best, he wants your system, you know exactly what he wants, and so now there's only 1 or 2 answers that he can say. He can be like, okay, well, I've tried something similar and here's what happens, and then you solve that again. You're not giving him the program, you're just solving the problem of why he hasn't been able to do it before, so that the next thing that comes up is, well, shit, you know how to do it, so like, let's do it this time. And that's when you, well, how would I do that? That's when you book to get on a call. Or then he's like, well, okay, great, like, well, what would that look like? Well, it's like, well, bro, I mean, we can go back and forth here in the DMs, but the best thing to do at this point would be to, you know, book you on a call so that I can really start to understand a little bit more about your life, specifically what it's like when you travel, you know, what your genetics are like, what your training method is like, and also kind of what your running style has been like, so I can maybe, you know, fill in some of these gaps and really create a protocol for you. So when you're ready, I can send you over a calendar link and that you can book in, so that we can talk and have this conversation further. And that's what you say. You don't say, let me know if you want the calendar, you know, anything like that. You let him, then it feels like he's in control. But then the obvious next thing to say is, okay, great, I'm available at this time, or okay, great, can you send it? Or he'll just be like, okay, and he'll like the message, waiting for you to send it. You don't say anything, and then he's like, hey, when can we do that? Can you send the calendar? He's the one asking. So you always do that, you leave it, you make him say it, and then we go into the double booking where it's like, he's like, okay, great, when can we do that? And you'll be like, what I'll do, and you just repeat, what I'll do is I'll send you a link. It'll have all my available times open. You'll be able to select a time that works for you, answer a couple of questions just so I understand a little bit more about your situation, and then you'll be able to book in, and then we'll jump on and I'll bring you kind of like, you know, a tailored protocol to what we're gonna do. As I said, when you're ready, let me know and I'll go ahead and send that link over to you. And he'll be like, okay, I'm ready. Then you send the link and then you say, let me know once you've booked in so I can confirm on my end. Then he says, I booked in, and it's, okay, great, super sick. And then if I were you, what I would do is I'd be like, by the way, bro, in the meantime, have a, like, how many of my YouTube videos have you watched? He's like, oh, you know, only a couple. And you'd be like, bro, I have a YouTube video that I think is really, really important for you to watch, and then go find one of these. Now that he's had this whole conversation with you and he has this frame of you in his mind, you're like, I need you to watch this between now and the call, because it's really, really gonna set set you up so that we can use our time to the best, to its best interest. And you're like, if I send it over to you, will you promise me that you're gonna watch the whole thing before we jump on the call? Yeah, bro, I'm a little busy, but I'm gonna get it done. And she's like, yes, absolutely, 100%. You send it over to him, and you're like, sweet. Text me here if you have any questions. Super excited to see you. Shoot me a message once you finish watching this, and also I'll circle back and text you tomorrow to see if you need anything. What's he buying now? He's actually buying true coaching and mentorship. He's not just buying like hey, you're struggling with this, I created a PDF for you. Because look at your coaching, it's never just that. You're like, the majority of the value is the coaching calls, the mindset, the relationship that you're building with them, the light that you're shedding on their life with the problems that they're experiencing and all these things. So that's also what's happening in your content, right?
Yeah.
They're getting the value from this. So why would the DM setting process be hey, let me finagle you and convince you on like why like my like 1, 2, 3 steps is going to fix you for $5,000.
Yeah.
It's just a boom, 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 continuous process. Content is the beginning of the sales process for their beliefs and how it's set up so they start to think like you. If there was no content, this guy can never look at you and say, I like the way you think, I like your mindset, I like the way you balanced your travel. And also, if this guy's watched only one of your videos, he's just gonna say a more surface level answer. Oh, I just kind of saw a video where you talked about like traveling and being able to run, and I was interested in learning more about that.
Yeah.
And he didn't say that, he said, I've seen it over time. Okay, this guy's already more qualified, so fuck the dude in your DMs last night that didn't follow you, spend all your time here. Because if you could have had this entire conversation in like 20, 30 minutes if your brain was like rapidly firing these off once I give you this framework that we're gonna go through. But then imagine you have 3 conversations like this, or 5 conversations like this a day. Bro, it's literally like 20 minutes max per conversation. And the rest of the ones that you get, if they're not answering like this, you send them to a YouTube video, or you don't waste your time with them. They come back in a month when they're ready to have a conversation like this. You don't that's how you can get to 100K a month and not need a setter. 2 of these close every couple of days, 7, 14K, 20K, and a week you're $30,000, $40,000, and it's like good high quality clients.
And the thing with the system you just showed me earlier is that like setup makes it so much easier conceptually to come up with YouTube videos that speak to the exact same issues.
So what's happening was he came to you looking for the ultimate athlete system, but what's the problem? This. He's doing the removal ritual wrong. He's removing running. But the whole entire point is, no, bro. We're not removing running. We're removing the bad training system, or the false belief that you had, or the bad approach to running that you've had. So you're removing actually one of the keys to your thing, so you can find where in the core concept he lies, so you can immediately know if someone reaches out to you immediately looking for the system. Hey, here's my goals, Well, what do we need to first do? We need to first find where the removal ritual. Break down his internal belief, then we get him to the system. Or if he comes to you and he's here and he's like, bro, like the problem is like, is my internal, this is the problem, bro. I just like, if it's like, I can't stay consistent, I can't do this. Well, then we look here, we find a problem with his system that's keeping him from being consistent internally, and then we take him back to here. So it's like the conversion process is to go identify his position within your funnel based on the core concepts, break that, and then take him into the one that he actually needs to be in. Boom. Once he sees that, then it's, well, how do I do that? Because now he's gone, it's literally like, think about this. You know how we learned in science, and everything is social media science. I've got another analogy for you, like the atom analogy. Ready? Everything is science. So you know how in your brain, there's like those there's membranes, and you have something that's like a permeable membrane and a non-permeable membrane. Okay, so like there's this layer in your brain that keeps things from you still need things in a simple terms, things still need to pass into your brain on a smaller molecular level, but there's some things that you don't want to go into your brain, but it still needs to get nutrients and stuff like this. And so the way that I think about it is just there's basically, based on the consistency of what it is, it can pass through this little membrane, or something else, maybe if it's something that's shouldn't be getting into your bloodstream, it can't pass into that membrane. The thing about it here that you're trying to look at is you're trying to look, okay, as we go through this, them going from one core concept to the next is them like passing through the membrane, which takes them into that conversion process. What most people do is if somebody comes to you looking for the ultimate athlete system and you try to close them on that, it's basically the whole entire process is you being like, oh, you're right where you need to be right here. We just need to fix this, this, and this. And it never will make sense in the human brain to be like, oh, well, like, I'm good then.
Yeah.
Why would I pay you $5K?
Yeah.
But when you take them into an entirely new environment, after they've given you the authority of, yo, you're the person that can, show me what's wrong, because life change is always transformation, then he goes, my eyes have been opened. I'm in a new world on this other side, and I see what was actually wrong. This is worth doing it. And so now the steps actually seem worth it. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Their eyes have to be opened.
The way the system is set up, it's so much more. It's super simple on the front end, but like the back end, the actual psychology of it is so much more.
But once you learn how to like, your brain will like literally look at him and like subconsciously go, looking for system, but he has an internal problem.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
And then it's
beautiful.
Boom, 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 and then he responds, and bro, you literally you almost read it like you know what I describe it as? When Neo finally like gains the awareness in the Matrix, and instead of seeing real life, he starts to just see the computer code like ones and zeros. You look at messages, you look at videos. When I get on coaching calls with someone,
how I feel right now.
When I get on coaching calls with somebody, I see X's and zeros, and I like see the code. So you ask me a question, and I'm like looking at this, and I'm like, bang, core concepts, boom, boom, boom. It's like you finally see it for what it's going on. Instead of just reading what he told you, you see, oh, false belief, internal, external system. It's crazy because people are trying to like add like robot process to human nature process, and it's never going to work.
I'm like, a setter literally can't do this. You can't really train a setter. Like you could, after a long time, train a setter to think this way, but it takes so much effort that you're literally better off just doing it yourself and actually sending the voice memos and all that shit.
The best way to train a setter is then to what? Because if there's the thing, you 100% you can train a setter to do this, but let's say you're at 30,000 a month, you're trying to get to 100K a month. And it's fully viable for you to do 100K a month and set all of your DMs and not feel like you're attached to your phone 24/7. But you place in a setter before you've understood this.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to teach the setter how to do something you haven't even mastered? So that's why I'm like, yo, if you master this, you'll be at 100K a month. Then what happens is you go through in the setter, and then you train him. You're in the DMs with him. He's carrying the burden with you. So you still send the voice messages. He can get back to every single one of these DMs, and now you have a hand in there working for you, and you can just be like the puppet master, and you can be like, oh, I see this guy said this. Let me send a little voice message real quick. Boom, 20 seconds. Now the setter is set up to where he only has like 2 or 3 different messages. Now you have all these, then you can go through, and you'll never take yourself out. But like you'll have someone constantly in the DM sending them messages that aren't like super like a setter could have easily sent. Pull this back up. Setter could have easily sent. Great goals. What makes you want to hear more about my coaching program? Then he says this, and this guy answered, and you go, good DM. Send a 20-second voice note. He sends this, 20-second voice note. And then now that we're here, setter's back in, easy on what to say, because now all we have to do is type those few things, and then it's the call booking process. Setter can do that. You sent 2 of these DMs. He answered it. Doesn't feel like it takes any of your time out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Then you can do that. Then the setter has seen people go through sales call, close. They also learn this system. They've watched your course. They watch my stuff. They know how you type and how you talk. 300, 400K a month. You've got 2 setters that are learning this, and they can easily do this. But the biggest part of this whole entire system that you see is like, what's the biggest reason for this people not making as much money as they want in this industry? Because everything used to work because it was so novel and it was new. Now every single person and their mom has bought off the landing page, gone through the funnel, been outreach and all these things. They see a little bit clearer. And so as soon as you'll have people, am I talking to a setter? Am I this? You used to never have that before. No, bro, it's me. You're not talking to a setter. Immediately, no one else can compete with you. You have so much leverage. Why? Because, oh my God, this guy actually answered me and he actually cares. It only actually took 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah, and it's not like a scripted response either every time. Like it's going back to this, which is the actual psychology of why.
Right, and the whole entire reason people need a setter, because this is one of the highest leverage. It's just like content. Imagine trying to replace someone else to make your content. It wouldn't work. Personal brand, it's that. We have personal brands. So the second highest leverage thing that you can do is answer voice messages in your DMs, but to the qualified and best people. So if that's the highest leverage thing, the reason why people need DM setters is because they're like, I don't know who's bullshitting, I don't know who's good, I don't know anything, so I'm just gonna have somebody in my DMs just sending all this shit all day long to go to volume. So now your content needs to just produce volume, produces shitty leads, you have to run a stupid amount of ads, you don't even know why your stuff does good, the setters are basically in there just like, how can I sell this guy however I need to, whenever, right? Maybe you make $1 million a month like a couple of times like Jacob Levinrad, but then, you get sued and your Instagram is down and then you fucking fall off the face of the earth. That's what's happening to all these people, right? But this way, now it's like, it's actually consistent through this. Bro, you send 5 of these a day. What else do you have to do? Take a coaching call or 2? Take a sales call? The sales calls we can easily fucking replace because that's an authority thing. You get to 100K a month, boom, we place a closer in there. It's super, super easy. That you can easily replace. Now what do? You make content, you send some voice messages during the day. Yeah, you have to do huge builds when you're building out your new course and your new program. You got to take group calls and stuff like that. But where does the work lie? The work lies in the mental understanding of what does this person actually need from me instead of how can I sell this person. So now you're actually doing your duty as a coach and you don't ever need to, you can literally close $400,000 a month in doing that. And then you're at $400,000 a month, you want to go to $1 million, sure, it's a little bit of a different approach, but what you can do then is if you're answering your DMs, it's just like with me. Big dog, dudes wire me $30,000 in the DMs. So like, what? I'm literally taking my time to answer you on this message right now. Like, I don't need to answer $5,000 guys because if I am good enough of understanding all this that I can only talk to $30,000 and $50,000 guys, you sell a 30K program, like I said, where you fly people out, you do it wrong. Do you know how many, you might have a false belief about it, but do you know how many dudes that are rich, dudes that are successful, business owners, dudes in Cali that do these things would fucking love to pull up, train with you, learn your style, do this, and it would be fucking so worth 50 grand. You get 4 of those guys a month, they refer their friends to you, then after they pay you the $50K for the in-person flyout, then they pay you a $10,000 a month retainer to just update their Ultimate Athlete dashboard every single month and have a group call just with the dudes who flew out. You guys can mindset mastermind and they get a free mastermind every month. You make $200,000 every single month just from 4 clients, and each of them pays you now a $10,000 retainer for a 6-month lifetime value. That's how you run info. But everybody's like, I can't close for more than $3,000. I know what I need to do. I need to run ads. I know what I need to do. I need to hire more setters. It's like everything's got to start with you before then it goes down. You know what I'm saying?
It's nasty.
That's
really nasty.
Get you over my mind. But when the morning comes, I'm right back where I started again. And trying to forget you is just a waste of time. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you.
I didn't want to live a normal life. Decided to document my journey, write down literally every thought that I'd ever had, and just decide to not let a single person in this life tell me what I could or what I couldn't achieve. And just committed to never giving up, bro. It's crazy. We were talking about, flew here on a private jet and I was complaining that the jet didn't even have Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, a couple of years ago, I hadn't even flown on a plane by myself before. It's crazy what you can actually achieve. I mean, dude, it seems so chill. We spent 3 weeks in Europe, stayed at some of the nicest villas, rode around on 4-wheelers, grabbed cars, gone to $1,000 dinners like it's nothing, and it's just become normal life simply because I created so much conviction within the vision that I created in my life, and the fact that I was going to be successful even though nobody told me that I was going to. I made it a guarantee through the thoughts that I had on a day-to-day basis, and no matter what problems I face, I just continue to remind myself that I have full control of not this reality, but how my brain reacts to every single problem that happens to me. And I mean, damn, look at that view. Got a Ferrari back home, business class on the way back, flying private jets. I'm 22 years old, bro. I have 8 years just to become 30. Stop worrying about how talented you are, like what gifts you were given, you know, from birth. And just start focusing your mind every single day on what circumstances can I control right now to force myself every single day to take the actions that'll lead to me inevitably becoming successful, no matter what. Put your head down. Tell yourself it'll take 5 years. That's what I did. But for most of you, it'll probably end up taking 3. Some of you, it might just take 1. You don't know how much your life could change in 1 year. And stop listening to these videos that, you know, tell you about how much your life could change, because you shouldn't even want to know. Don't put a limit on yourself, and just go and say, there's nothing that I will not sacrifice. Every single day, nobody will ever be able to compete with you. People will look at this view, see the entire world in front of them, and sit and then just try to let some video on Instagram dictate what they're gonna do with the rest of their life. Bro, you have a fucking brain inside of you. And you're gonna look externally. Everybody wants external. Oh, this person bought a supercar. This person had this crazy vacation in Europe. This person just made $1 million in a month. All of the beginning problems that you face, it's all internal and everything. It doesn't matter what level that you're at. I have friends who are billionaires and they still always look inside first before they solve a problem. Because look at this entire universe. And you want to look somewhere else instead of inside of the brain and the ability to think and act on a day-to-day basis and the talent that you've been given. Every person that's ever been successful looks internally first and realizes there's an entire world out there for you to go conquer. Bro, we live in, it's 2026, and there were kids, Alexander the Great conquered the world when he was 16 years old. And you think now with a phone, with AI, with literally world travel at any time, you can go and on your computer build a $10 million business in 3 or 4 years. Yet you're still complaining about the circumstances and the tiny little problems that happen on a day-to-day basis. Look at that view one more time. And then try to tell me a single excuse as to why you can't go achieve any goal that you ever set for yourself. So many people have let the internet just make them a pussy. That's just the best way that I can say it. And they've forgotten how many blessings we actually have in this life. Bro, there's 20-year-olds that run circles around some of the most talented people that are 30, 40 years old, simply because they don't limit what their mind can achieve, and they don't let the external put a box on the problems that they can actually solve internally. So it's gonna be really hard to be able to see what everyone got because our meals are so different. We got steak and then the same steak and the same steak. Guys, hope you enjoyed the Europe trip. I will say I must accept a little bit of defeat simply because I thought maybe I was gonna stay another month, and I just care too much about the operational success of my business. My team wakes up and has like 2 hours with me before I go to bed. Obviously my clients that are across the world from the US are happy because I'm on the same time as them, but a bunch of my clients, like, you know, it's 7 a.m. for them, having to book calls on my calendar. I'm just if I could go somewhere and like maybe like stay for like a month and like get in routine, it'd be great. But Greece was sick, super peaceful, but it's also not very. I need to have a good gym. I need to have a nice desk and office, and I need to have like only one person that I need to take care of. And I had like 3. But we had a great time. What are you doing? We had a great time dropping Andrew off. Now I'm gonna go to Athens for like a couple of days of solitude, and then back in full effect, working and getting everything done. But then I'll probably come back here. Not probably, I will. Not to Greece, but I'll come back to Europe in like a very, very, very short time from now, just a couple of weeks. It's gonna be sick. So, Euro summer, halfway complete.